This podcast contains strong language and adult themes. Listener's discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to A Page Too Far. This is the show where each week one of us reads a book and tells the other all about it.
I already hate it.
Will it be bad? Will it be good? Who knows? Let's find out.
I think I know, actually. I'm pretty sure I have a good idea.
Do you? Okay. It's not like I just came in and yelled at you about the book that I read.
It's the first thing you said was, well, it's such a shit book. Anyways.
I walked in the door, said, hey, what's up? This is a shit book.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. Our Patreon is slash A Page Too Far.
And that's all we have for today.
Yeah.
My name is Sally. And with me, as always, is my co-host and lover, Lightning McQueen.
I don't like that you said that.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, we're not lovers, people.
Oh, yeah, that's
not.
right. We're not.
No.
I forgot about that. This week, I read the book McQueen's Heat.
Oh, God. I don't like that title.
by Harper Allen. It's a romantic suspense novel.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm branching out.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that cross before, romance and suspense.
The only reason I know that is because it tells me on the cover. It was published by Harlequin Publishing as part of their Intrigue series.
Okay.
And is number 1,695 in that series.
Wow.
They published over 2,000 books in 2002.
Wow.
Yeah. This was published in 2003 and is 250 pages long. Here's the book. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. Oh, my God. It's very stereotypical romance novel.
It's a guy and a girl. The guy's...
Is that Halle Berry?
I don't think so. The guy's shirtless and the girl is in like a unitard.
Leotard? Unitard?
They're both words. I don't know what the distinction is.
I don't know either. Okay, cool. There's a purple fingerprint.
There is a purple fingerprint. Yeah, and I think that's the Intrigue series thing.
Okay.
Also, the cover's wrong because the guy has like shoulder length black hair and this guy has.
Oh no, they were too lazy to find a model.
Yeah, they couldn't find an actual person. Anyway, just to pad this episode out, because I don't think this is going to be that long.
Okay.
I was discussing this book with a friend of mine, and I used this sentence when I described it. I said, this is the first romance book that I've read that wasn't furry related.
Technically true.
Well, I don't just mean for this show.
Oh, you mean ever?
I mean ever.
Okay.
Unless you count like The Princess Bride as a romance book, but I don't. It's more like action adventure. And there are romance points to it, but I wouldn't say it's a romance book.
Furthermore, it's not a furry romance.
Exactly.
Book. Okay.
Exactly. But what I mean by that is for the show I read Bear.
Yes.
Outside of the show, the only other romance books I read specifically that I can think of are, I don't know how else to say this, but like Twilight-esque girl meets werewolf and they fuck books.
Yeah.
I read a shit ton of those in like middle school because I was really good friends with a girl who is a furry. And I didn't, it was before I knew what a furry was.
Right.
She told everybody to call her Wolfie. And I just like, oh yeah, your name's Wolfie. Okay, cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what up, Wolfie? And we laughed. We're, 13 in 8th grade, something like that? And we were just laughing at all the dirty bits because it was funny.
Yeah. Are you still friends with him?
No, I haven't talked to her since.
Oh, okay.
But that memory was unlocked about halfway through this book. Like, wait a minute. Because about halfway through this book, there's well, never mind.
Okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I have it specifically. So yeah. I also want to say that I think I read this book under the perfect setting, and I told you about this.
Right.
Because I had a virtual doctor's appointment scheduled, and so about 15 minutes before, I sat down and was like, I'm just going to read a couple chapters, logged into the thing to wait for the doctor. I was like, I'll read while I wait. So I read it, read a couple of chapters, got a note that the doctor was going to be a little late. It's like, okay, I'll read a little more.
Right.
The doctor ended up being 4 hours late and never did show up. So I read the entire thing while waiting for a doctor's appointment. So it was like I wasn't focused on it because I'm checking to see if they're there and everything.
Yeah.
It was the perfect way to read this book. Distracted and waiting for something else.
I'm sure that's what their intention is.
Probably,
You're supposed to read this at the airport or something.
If you publish 2,000 books in a year, you are not intending to people to spend any time on them.
Right. It's a mild distraction.
Exactly. This is for like the grandma who blows through 5 books in a day.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what this book is. And it knows it. On the bright side, that means you can have a career as a writer.
Totally.
If you want just like pumping out shit novels. Never did see the Doctor. But without further ado, let's dive into McQueen's Heat. There is a dramatis personae at the beginning of this book, and we're going to read it verbatim because goddamn.
Okay.
Dramatis personae. Cast of characters. You have Tamara King.
Okay.
As a firefighter, she thought she knew what danger was until she walked into a burning building and met the smoke gray gaze of Stone McQueen.
She walked in, she was like, oh shit, this place is on fire! Fuck!
Stone McQueen, the ex-arson investigator, is a man who's reached rock bottom and he doesn't want Tamara King to save him. Petra Anderson. I don't know why they do this in this order. I'd have done it differently, but
yeah.
Petra Anderson. The little girl adores McQueen, despite his hard-edged manner. Robert Pascoe. He's a man who never existed, but McQueen thinks he's returned to finish what he started 7 years ago.
What? He never existed?
Yeah.
So he's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, he hit rock bottom, but he's really hot.
Yes.
I don't think those two go together.
There is an explanation.
Okay.
Yep. They explain why he has 8-pack abs and the V.
Okay. I'm guessing supernatural.
No, it's not supernatural.
No?
I don't want to get your hopes up. It is not supernatural.
Okay.
Claudia Anderson. Once Tamara's best friend, Claudia betrayed her by running off with her fiancé on her wedding day.
Ooh, fuck.
Now it's too late to make amends. Also, they don't tell you this in the dramatis personae, Petra Anderson's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yep, the little girl who adores McQueen despite his hard-edged manner. Jack Foley, the gruff ex-firefighter and his late wife adopted Tamara when her family was killed in a fire. He'd do anything to keep his adored Tammy safe. He's also her uncle. Bill Traynor. This is the last one.
Okay.
Bill Traynor. The arson investigator once had a thing for Claudia, but now he and his partner are looking into her death and trying to pin it on McQueen.
Fuck, I've already forgot who Claudia was.
Claudia is the girl who ran off with the fiancé.
So she's dead.
She dies in the first chapter.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'm clear on everything.
Yeah, they also just spoiled almost all of it.
Really?
Yeah. There's very little that this doesn't tell you.
Okay.
Which is why I wanted to read it. Also, this book allegedly takes place in Boston.
Right.
There's a map of Boston, like a crude outline map.
Nice.
They don't mention any of those places in the book.
Oh.
Ever.
Okay. So
they just say it's in Boston. But there's a map that's got like, if I was going to ask you where North End was in Boston, where would you say it was?
At the North End?
You're correct. What about South Bay?
It's the bay to the south.
What about East Boston?
That's probably in the west, because I know they have this weird thing with East and West there.
They do. It's actually a little different. So East Boston is a little north of North Boston.
What?
Because there's the harbor that cuts in.
Okay.
And East Boston's on the other side of the harbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
So it is more east.
Right.
But it's more north than North Boston, but it's east of that.
Right.
Yeah. Then there's South Boston, which is different than South Bay. South Boston is southeast of Boston.
Okay.
So there's Boston, South Boston, South Bay.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah. They don't mention any of those names ever.
No, but
just Boston.
I'm sure they threw that in there for value.
Yeah. Yeah. I pictured everyone in this book as Mark Wahlberg or Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Because that's my shtick, right?
Right.
We open with Tamara King and her partner Joey searching a burning building. Their job is to clear it and make sure no one else is inside. Then the hose crew's going to come through and take care of the actual fire. Joey has forgotten his mask again.
That's pretty important.
Nah, it'll be fine.
I'm pretty sure he's going to lose his eyebrows.
He says, nah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
And Tamara's like, yo, you do this all the time. When are you going to learn? And he's like, nah, it's fine.
He has a bottle of water. What he does is he fills his mouth with water.
Yeah.
And then he goes in front of his face. It's like a sprinkler effect, and it keeps him cool.
Spoiler alert, it's not fine.
Okay.
Tamara opens the door and sees a man staring out a window. She says, bro, we gotta go. And he's like, nah, fire's gone too far. It's in the ceiling now.
So?
Which is a determination that she had just made right before opening the door. She's like, it's in the ceiling. We gotta get out of here.
I'm not a fire person.
Yeah.
What difference does that make?
Couldn't tell you.
I'm guessing maybe it's like
going to collapse.
Collapse is imminent.
Yeah.
He's next to a window.
Yep.
Throw him out the window.
Just push him.
Yeah. Literally do that.
Yeah. But she has a large inner monologue in this book.
Okay.
It's mostly inner monologue. And in her inner monologue, she thinks, not on my watch, buddy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not on my watch.
Yeah.
You don't want to live. That's fine. But you're not dying here.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I was once working in a barn, in a horse barn.
Yeah.
And it was early in the morning, and I stopped because I was fucking tired. And a guy I was working with was like, "Wait, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I was taking a little break." And he said, "Not on my watch." And then he shoved me over and picked up a wristwatch I happened to be standing on.
Nice.
So, yeah. Didn't happen.
You started with the basic idea of a premise and then had to build it.
Someone was an asshole to me in a barn, but I wasn't standing on his watch.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, the fire's gone too far. You can go. I'm good. And yeah, she's not on my watch. She basically forces him out of the room into the hall.
Okay.
And she turns and she sees Joey at the other end trying to do something. Like there's a room at the other end and she can't tell what he's doing.
Right.
And then like part of the ceiling collapses. So she and this guy run out of the building.
Joey's dead.
No.
Okay.
No. She gets the man out and then she says she's going back in for Joey because he found something. Like he was trying to do something. I gotta say, if he was trying to save something, it was probably a person.
Okay.
I gotta go back in. The man says, "No, I'll go," and throws his sweatshirt over his
Dude.
head and runs back into the building.
Well, so wait, I'm confused.
Yes.
So he was standing there. He was ready to die by himself.
Yes.
And now he's going in to save someone?
Yes.
Who might not need saving.
This is 3 pages later.
Okay.
Yep. Tamara runs up to the door, but by the time she gets there, she sees Joey and this guy coming out. And the guy's holding a little girl wrapped in like a wet towel. A photo falls from the little girl's hands, and the guy picks it up and hands it to Tam, and it's a picture of a young Tamara McQueen. No, I wrote that wrong. I wrote Tamara McQueen, but that's not her name. Her name is Tamara
Yet.
King.
Okay.
Yet, yeah. It's a picture of a young Tam.
Okay.
So she's like, "Bro, what the hell? Where did this come from?" And Joey's like, "Yeah, the little girl had it."
And she's like, "The little girl knows too much." And then she chokes it out.
This unconscious little girl. We learn the man's name is Stone McQueen.
Cool.
Yeah, which if that's not romance novel material.
Who is named Stone?
I don't know.
What kind of name is that?
It's a name. It's his real name. Oh, no, they do mention it. I forgot. His name is Stonewall, after Stonewall Jackson.
That's his first name?
His first name is Stonewall. He goes by Stone.
That's not a first name.
It was once.
Stonewall Jackson was a nickname.
Look. It was a nickname from people who really liked that name.
My first name is Rock. I'm named after Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
So I read this book and then I went back to notate it and script it later, and nothing happens. Like some stuff happens, but like you remember Bull Riders Christmas Baby, how you were just going and then you're just like, no, nothing else happens.
Right.
This is very similar. They call it suspense, and there are some suspenseful things, but it tells it, again, there's a lot of inner monologue.
Right.
So it tells it through that, which isn't exciting to read or to report.
Right.
And literally 10% of that book, 10% of it, 250 pages, 25 pages is sex.
Oh my God. Okay.
I counted. And then the other 10% of it is suspense. So it's like 80% inner monologue, 10% suspense, 10% sex.
Suspense also requires your interest.
Yeah.
And investment.
Exactly. And like I said, I read it while waiting and checking on something else.
Yeah.
Which was perfect, because going back and reading it to notate it, it's not good.
Right.
So we find out that Joey is hospitalized because he was a dumbass.
Without a mask.
You
hear that, people?
Up. Wear your mask.
Yeah. You don't have a mask, you're going to be hospitalized.
But he's going to pull through, and he should be okay in a few months. So
a few months, Jesus.
Months to recover, because he had burns, but also like he almost died from inhalation.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what the actual recovery time on that is, but they say he'll be back to duty in 8 months.
Wow. Okay.
But he'll be out of the hospital soon, and then on like light duty for 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Like that. We find out that Petra, the little girl, had a mother named Claudia.
Okay.
Which again we knew from the Brandis Personae.
Right.
The story says the story, like the not the novel, but the scuttlebutt from the firefighters, says that Claudia had fallen asleep with a cigarette in her mouth, and that's what started the fire.
Smoking kills.
McQueen says no, that's not what started it. The fire was started by something else. But also, I can't prove that.
Yeah, why was he in there?
He lived in the building.
So, it was an apartment building.
Was, yeah, I guess I didn't say that. It was like not a row house, but yeah, like an apartment building or like one of those stereotypical, like a junkie's retreat kind of thing where it's just room after room.
Okay.
And it's like minimal rent and there's no anything in it.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
It's like a halfway house?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tamara asks if this is Claudia Anderson, a girl that she grew up with who was like a sister to her. And Petra confirms this and says that if you'd have read her letters, you'd have known she'd have given up smoking a year ago. And she didn't start the fire.
Okay.
Tamara says, well, Claudia never wrote me. Ever.
Right.
So, like, fuck you, bitch. And the arson investigators say that she did. So there. McQueen again says, yeah, but they're wrong.
And he's an ex-arson investigator.
Yeah, we don't know this at the time.
Okay.
But yes. He's basically just a smug asshole. And he's using language that makes Tam think that he's a firefighter or an ex-firefighter.
Right.
But she has no idea.
She's
assuming.
I'm also just picturing him shirtless through this entire thing.
I did too.
Okay.
and he is shirtless for a good portion of it. We also meet Tam's lieutenant, who Tam refers to as Loot, L-I-E-U-T.
Okay.
I hate it.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I've nenever heard anyone call a lieutenant Loot.
Me neither. I've heard Lou.
I've heard Lou. Maybe it's Lou, but no, there's the T on the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the lieutenant basically says, yeah, Stone's a hard ass and he quit the team years ago, but he had the best instincts, except for the time he failed. And she's super vague. But the lieutenant's got his back because he got her back once. Like that kind of camaraderie.
So he's got back is what you're saying.
Look, baby got back. There's a bit of a cut to the next scene, which is Tam at home with her inner monologue saying, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. McQueen gets on my nerves. There's no way he's going to live with me because for the past few days, he's been living with her.
Why?
Because he doesn't have a home anymore.
Then go find another one. Why? Why her?
Because she's single.
You could live at the firehouse.
She has a spare bedroom. We also find out later that he has a shit ton of money. So there's no reason that he couldn't just get a hotel.
Yeah.
There is no reason.
Okay. Why do the protagonists always have like a shit ton of money? Somehow. In some way.
He lived on nothing and squirreled it away in investments. So
he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of those like tiny house minimalists who save up $1 million by the time they're 25 and then never spend it.
Yeah. Weirdos.
Yeah. She's also, Tam is adopting Petra.
Okay.
But Petra hates her because she thinks
problematic.
Her mom killed herself.
Problematic. Okay.
Yeah. She thinks it was her mom's fault that the fire was started and everything, and Petra doesn't.
Right.
Because McQueen said it doesn't. But Petra loves McQueen for some reason.
I have like no feelings about most of this.
I don't either. I read it and I'm recording it and I'm trying to just tell you what happened, but like, this is just not fun.
No, it's nothing.
Yeah. For some reason, Petra thinks that Tam hated her mom. And we find out that she kind of did, but obviously she doesn't tell Petra that. Okay. The plot doesn't linger on anything, and it's a lot of inner monologue, so I'm trying to bring out some things. Tamara thinks to herself, yeah, Lute, you were right. Stone is an ass. And also, Claudia, why did you never write me? You never wrote me. Petra's flipping out over nothing. Stone comes into the kitchen, and they hardcore flirt. It was gross.
Okay.
Yep. They end up making out and almost bang, but Tam's like, no, I can't bang.
What?
I don't know. She's like, she's really into it, and then all of a sudden she's not.
Not.
Yeah.
Women. Am I right?
Yeah. And Stone's like, that's okay. I didn't want to bang you anyway. Stone then asks about her family, and Tam says that they all died in a fire. But how did you find out that I had like a brother and parents?
Right.
Which is weird because she asks how he found out she had parents.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody at one point had parents.
I mean, can you prove that?
Yes, actually.
Can you? Can you prove every single person living now had parents?
Yes.
I don't think you can.
I don't think I need to.
I'm sure there's one poor soul out there who doesn't have any paperwork. Nobody knows them. They don't have any memories of parents.
But they still had to have parents.
Well, how do you prove that?
Biologically.
Well, what do you mean?
You could do a DNA test on that person.
And then what?
Prove their ancestry. That means that they came from somewhere.
Okay, well, the way ancestry test works
Okay.
is they look at traits that are found in other lineages.
Sure, and they say that you probably came from this thing.
Yeah, probably. Meaning that's not proof that's where you came from, but it's saying you have the same characteristics in your DNA sequence that these do. So that is not proof of her being from a certain lineage. I don't know why I'm fighting this.
I hate this devil's advocate.
I don't know why I'm fighting
I hate
this.
it. Prove that the sky is blue. Because red was taken by apples and yellow by bananas.
I think this guy can be all of those things, though.
Not according to that one episode of Arthur, where DW says,
I hate that episode.
this is why the sky is blue. Yeah, the episode of Fake Science.
Yeah.
And then Brain's like, I don't need to prove it to you because there's like museums and shit where other people have.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off, DW.
It's such a, like, it was very much of its time, but it's also of this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so infuriating.
It hurts. It hurts to
Yeah.
I just remember, I don't remember most of the episode, but I remember her saying, why is the sky blue? Because red was taken by apples, green by grass, and yellow by bananas.
Yeah.
So the sky is blue. And then her whole thing is to run around saying, prove it. Prove it. And the brain says, I don't have to prove it. Other people have. And they go to a museum at the end. And it's dope.
She said that the sun was a giant flashlight that turned off.
I don't remember that, but I believe it.
That's what night is.
I believe it.
And I was like, this dumb hoe. Somebody hit her in the face, please.
Look, nobody needed punched quite like DW, except maybe Tommy and Timmy Tibble.
She does get punched.
She does,
By
but she needs
Arthur.
punched more.
But yeah, more.
I remember that.
That's a hot take.
Is that the episode? There was also an episode where he went and like rode his bike in the junkyard and like cut his knee. And it got infected. Was that the episode where he punched her, or was that a different episode?
No, that was a different one.
Okay.
There's one where DW broke some of his stuff and he loses his temper.
That's right.
He loses his temper and hits her. And the whole episode is about like, this is how you should treat your siblings. You should be patient with them.
Just deck them. It's fine.
Yeah. She fucking deserved it. Anyways.
We have a book to get back to.
I mean, this is more interesting than the book.
Do you want to just have an episode where they're canceling Arthur?
Are they?
Yeah.
Why?
It's like its last episode or its last season.
It's just done everything?
Either this year or it just happened, one of the two. But they're going to flash forward.
What does that mean?
Like, he's been in third grade forever, I think. He might have gone to fourth grade. But they're going to do like a Harry Potter style flash forward kind of ending.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm calling Sue Ellen totally going to be a lesbian.
Yeah.
100%.
Probably.
The daughter of like the artsy hippie. That's going to happen. Muffy's going to be in jail.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Francine, probably lesbian with Sue Ellen.
Binky's going to be the CEO of a massive company.
Yeah. Yeah. He had heart. Tommy and Timmy Tibble are like, I don't know, professional comedians.
Sure.
Something. Sure. DW, I don't know what DW is going to do. I don't care.
I don't care either. I hope she dies of leukemia.
Buster's dad and mom like divorced, I think. And then there was a spinoff show because Buster's dad's a pilot. And Buster went with his dad, and they did a spinoff show called Postcards from Buster, where it was just Buster front-ended and back-ended on clips of interesting places and things. So like they would go to the, like almost like Mr. Rogers, how they do the real world factory tours kind of thing.
Okay.
They would do that, except it would be bookended by Buster.
They also
and it's like, today my dad's in like Toledo, and here's the Space Needle from Washington. Those aren't the same place. But stuff like that.
Okay.
Or like, here's this city, and here's a kind of a tour of how the subway system works.
And there was another spinoff where Buster started a POV channel called Buster Bustin' Nuts.
Yes.
And there's a girl in every city he visits.
There's a boat in every port. There's a Pirates of the Caribbean reference in there.
There's a saying.
Yeah.
I've forgotten everything that's happened in this book so far.
Girl rescued a guy who wanted to die.
I'm kidding. I know.
Oh, so how did he find out that she had parents? That's how we started that.
What was it? Okay. So yeah, she had parents.
Yeah. So apparently when they were running out of the building, her helmet fell off, and inside, like in the strappings or whatever, she had a photo of her family.
Okay.
And he caught it in a quick glimpse.
She's like, no, that was the photo that came with a helmet. I just left it in there.
It's a stock image. He was an arson investigator, wasn't he? She kind of like puts it all together because he's like, yeah, no, the fire's in the ceiling now. It wasn't caused by a smoke or by a cigarette. And also, I see you have a family.
Or he could just be an arsonist.
Or he could just be an arsonist. That's the B plot.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, the book is just bad flirting and dramatic phrasing for things that could have just been said, but
Right.
McQueen is a stone-cold type who doesn't feel anything.
Right.
And Tam is a hard-hearted firefighter who puts up walls to keep emotions out. But like, when you have two characters who are both acting like cunts, it's just not good reading.
Yeah, but then they just hate fuck. And then
They do hate fuck.
that opens the door.
It did.
Okay. I figured.
I have in my notes, I read the damn book, so I'm gonna summarize it.
Okay.
But this gets worse the more effort I put into it, and the script is already a bit longer than I wanted it to be at this point, so here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna go character by character, and I'm just gonna tell you what happens. I'm not gonna reveal it plot point by plot point like the book does.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you the story. In the past, Tamara and her family were staying at like a hotel.
Okay.
And that hotel, Tamara got up to go to the bathroom, and the hotel kind of exploded.
Kind of exploded.
A gas line caught fire. The whole thing
Oh, so it did kind of exploded.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But because she was in, and the gas line was like right next to their room, because she was in the bathroom away from them, because it was like down the hall,
Okay.
she survived, but her entire family was killed.
Sturdy bathroom.
It was like on the other end of the building. She had to go down the hall to get there.
Oh.
It was like a hotel, right? So the explosion was centered around where her family was. She had gone away. She grew up living with her Uncle Jack and his wife, whose name escapes me, but she's dead in the present day, so I don't care. He was a firefighter, and her father was a firefighter, and she always wanted to be a firefighter. Her husband, this is much later, ran off with, I say husband, his fiance.
Yeah, they didn't get married.
It was on their wedding day.
Okay.
Ran off with Claudia, her best friend, and died in a car accident a few weeks later. I thought the book was going to pull a twist, and that the Robert Pascoe criminal guy
Right.
was going to be the husband. No, he is actually dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Claudia tried to write Tam, but Tam never got the letters until at one point she just has them.
All right.
And I don't know if I skimmed over her getting them,
Right.
like her uncle kept them or something, or if the answer that I think is that she just ends up with them somehow, and they
Okay.
don't tell us how.
Okay.
I also didn't go and double check, so it could be in there somewhere. I don't think it's in there.
Stone McQueen just pulls him out,
Yeah.
and he's like, I might have taken these at some point. Here you go.
You were going kind of rocky, and in my mind, I was going Christopher Walken from Pulp Fiction pulling, this is your father's watch. I had this in my ass. But yeah, she ends up with the letters. She reads a letter, and turns out that the daughter was right. Claudia had quit smoking and wanted to come and try and connect with Tam again because they were friends
Okay.
back in the day, and she's really sorry. And her fiance's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. She doesn't say that, but
he's dead because of her.
yeah.
Like, it doesn't make it better.
Yeah. But he's just a man.
Just a man. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's only one Stone McQueen, though.
There is only one Stone McQueen. Anyway, the night of her wedding,
Okay.
she went to the hotel bar. She still had the reception
Right.
because she's like, damn it, I'm going to party now and show everyone that I don't need no man.
Okay.
She got real drunk, found a nameless guy whose face she never saw, and said, I'm paraphrasing, but the book used a much longer way to say this. She told this guy to rail me until dawn and then leave.
Okay. At least she's forward about it. Clear.
So he does.
Okay.
Yeah, never saw his face, never knew his name.
Okay.
I'll give you 5 guesses as to who that was.
I'm guessing that it seems like Stone McQueen recognized her in some way. So I probably recognized her because that was him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was him.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had pre-banged before they actually met.
So there really is no suspense.
No.
They already did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the reader knows that because it's obvious,
Right.
but it doesn't tell you that
Okay.
until much later.
Okay.
Now we switch over to McQueen. McQueen was a rookie firefighter who got trapped at a stairwell. Jack, Tam's uncle,
Okay, wait.
saved him.
I'm just picturing him in a stairwell that's not on fire. And the guy's like, you have to step up. See, it gets higher. You need to put your foot up and then press down. You will elevate your body.
You want me to go down, but you said down, but I'm trying to go up.
He's like, if you don't move your ass, I'm going to light this bitch on fire.
So Jack Tam's uncle saved him from this burning stairwell.
Okay.
It is burning. Along with several other people, and everyone who loves him. Loves Jack.
Okay.
Great. Good guy, Jack. McQueen went on to become the best arson investigator ever until one day he started linking a series of fires that everyone thought were accidents.
Okay.
He realized that they were all caused by the same person, and it then became his life's mission to find that person.
Okay.
At one point, he was right next to the guy. He didn't know it. He was getting onto a subway, and the guy looks at him and he says, "My name is Robert Pascoe, and I'm the Phantom who is starting those fires."
Okay.
And then he pushes a woman in front of the subway as a distraction while he runs away. So McQueen saves the woman, and then Robert Pascoe's gone.
Okay. Did he get a look at his face?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's over. Just get a sketch.
Thing is,
Okay, what's the thing?
all of those fires were ruled as accidents by professional investigators.
Okay.
No one believes McQueen.
Okay. But you could at least get him on pushing a woman in front of a subway train.
You could do that.
Attempted murder.
You could do that.
Put him away. He won't burn anything anymore.
But the rest of the people think that McQueen is trying to create a ghost to make himself look good and be like, look how cool of an investigator I am.
But he's like the best investigator, though, right?
Yes.
So has he done anything to warrant this
No.
suspicion? So he's just awesome.
Yes.
And then he says one thing that's against the grain, and everybody's like, you're making it up.
Yes.
You silly goose.
Definitively.
Okay.
At some point in here as well, Claudia's lieutenant, before she was her lieutenant,
Right.
is in a relationship with the dude, and that dude was physically abusive to her.
Okay.
And she comes into the office one day with a bunch of bruises.
Cool.
And
Not cool. Not cool.
Hey, look, there ain't nothing cool about hitting women.
No.
It's funny, but it ain't cool.
It's not cool to hit anybody unless consensually.
Yeah.
That's what boxing is.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And also, just to be clear, I was quoting an old guy that I used to work with.
Oh,
who
yeah.
would say that all the time, anytime somebody got hit or something like that, if
Yeah.
we're watching a movie or something. And he also used to say it for laughs all the time. But then it also just kind of became like, are you serious about that?
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like you're serious about that. So nobody believes McQueen.
Right.
Until later. Someone reports seeing a dude with a gas can near a building. The fire crew comes and is able to contain the blaze early. And they find like plastic remains of a detonator that was supposed to go off at a certain time, but they got there soon enough. They put it out before it could.
Okay, hold up.
Yes.
Detonator or explosive?
They said detonator, which is something that has to be physically triggered.
Right. But that wouldn't explode.
Well, it was next to, I believe, a modified type of rocket fuel.
Okay, so it was a whole thing that
Yes.
just didn't trigger.
Yes.
Okay.
But that blaze was just a distraction. See, while that was going on and the engines were all concerned with that building,
Right.
because fire stations only have one engine in Boston, in the city of Boston.
Okay.
There's another fire that started somewhere else that McQueen starts rushing towards in his car because he knows that's the real game.
Okay.
And when he gets there, he finds out that 5 firefighters just went inside the building, and he starts running. And as soon as he gets to the door, the building explodes.
Okay.
He knew that was like the real detonator
Right.
and the real set of explosives. All 5 of those firefighters died. McQueen resigns the next day.
Right. He failed.
Yep. He should have stopped it. That started a 7-year binge drinking sequence. Now, the present day is 8 years.
Right.
So he's binge drinking for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then he decided that he wanted to get sober. So he's been sober for 8 months.
Okay.
Good for him.
Working out.
Working out. That's why he has the 6-pack and the V.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing like depression to get you in shape.
Man, yeah.
So, okay. So he's alcoholic. He found a reason to go on and
Mhm.
quit drinking.
Yes.
But he still just wants to die.
In that one scene, yes. Throughout the rest of the book, no.
Okay.
It doesn't explain it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's just Tam being wrong that he wants to die in that fire.
Right.
But he said he wanted to.
What exactly did he say?
Gase took her to the man standing in the window with his back to her. Don't worry about me, buddy. I can take care of myself. Up until yesterday, the room down the hall was unoccupied. You might want to check it out anyway. There's fire in the ceiling, so there's not much time. My partner's checking it out. You're my responsibility. Let's move. And he says, you passed the department physical, so you're probably pretty strong, honey. But I've got almost a foot on you, and I'm a whole lot heavier. I don't see you getting me through that door if I don't want to go. Find your partner, and the two of you get out while you can.
What a misogynist pig. It didn't quite sound like he wanted to die, but he was being realistic, I guess.
He's being apathetic.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like,
definitely.
Save everyone else before you save me. Oh,
Yeah.
everyone else is good? Fuck you.
Yeah.
And later,
Just
she's like, that's not the way it works. I'm a fighter.
Fighter fire.
I'm a firefighter. If you understood anything at all about what that means, you'd know I can't walk away and leave you here. And he's like, yeah, you can. That's his response. Yeah, you can. You're going to.
No, you.
Let me put it in words you'll understand, honey. I don't want you risking your life for someone like me. Well, your luck just ran out, honey, because risking my life is part of the job.
Mm.
Yeah, that's some of the dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the here. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Left or right?
Left.
Say when.
When?
Are you saying you've had a Jakey, that's a firefighter, feeding you information and protecting your back all that time? What in the world would turn a Jakey against his own so completely that he'd betray them like that?
Literally. You literally flipped through. And I picked where you stopped, which page, where on the page.
Yep. And it was shit dialogue.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So that's the past. And then in present day, they basically, Tam and McQueen do some illegal shit to get a sample from the scene, from the fire, and run it through a mass spectrometer to determine that there was rocket fuel. It was the same modified type of rocket fuel.
Right.
So McQueen knows it's the same guy. But they found out illegally, so they can't, bring it to anybody to act on it.
Okay.
So they got to handle it themselves.
Do you know that rocket fuel is very stable? It's incredibly hard to light.
Yeah. I actually did. It has to be.
Yeah, it's really hard to light.
Yeah.
You could literally have a naked flame on it and it's not lighting.
That's why they say this is modified.
Oh.
It's modified rocket fuel.
We call it gasoline. It's really easy to light.
And because everyone else wrote it off as an accident, they have to, they're going through Uncle Jack's contacts because he's a firefighter from back in the day.
Mhm.
So people owe him favors and things, that kind of shit. Now people are thinking McQueen is back to his old tricks. After all, he never proved anything before. They never caught the guy
Right.
the first time, and McQueen disappeared for 8 years. And now he's back and the shit's starting up again.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But that's all the main drama. That's it. There's a scene where two current investigators, Bill Farley or whatever is one of them, Foley. And there's another guy who want to fight McQueen. They show up at his car and they're like, hey, you better not be starting shit.
Okay.
And he's like, I mean, I'll fuck you two up, but I ain't starting shit.
I'm still picturing him shirtless.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. And then later, they cruise around because he's staying at Tam's place. They cruise around Tam's place with the cops.
Okay.
And that's it. They just drive by with police officers behind them.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
I haven't felt this way about a book that you've read since the what was it? The Chasing the Dragon?
Chasing the Dragon was it was good though. The book
But
was good.
I felt so disconnected from that story.
The Weston game.
Okay. That was a bit more so, yeah.
This feels like the Weston game because this is just but the Weston game is actually a really, really good book.
It has interesting characters.
It has interesting characters and it has a really good plot. It's just shit to recount.
Right.
But then one of them turns up later and is like, yo, McQueen, I believe you, after some evidence comes out.
Cool.
Tam and McQueen bang for some reason. In that sex scene, they use the word turgidly.
Oh, no. No. What does that mean?
Let me get the exact definition here.
That's a horrible word.
It's a good word of the day word.
Oy.
Excessively ornate or complex in style or language. Also, you sure you want to know?
Sure, go for it.
Swollen or distended.
Oh my God. That word doesn't sound like the definition, either of them. It sounds like just a horrible word.
Yeah.
So can I say my turgid cock? Is that
If it's swollen or distended.
Sure, yeah.
Also bloated.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I guess.
God, can you take me to the ER? I have a turgid cock right now. Oh, it hurts.
It hasn't been 4 hours yet. You're fine.
This has been the best, worst episode yet.
Everything around the book is great.
This is a lot like what a bonus episode is. We'll
It's
just
true.
go on tangents.
It's true. There is a suspenseful story in this. Like, it could work.
Right.
You would just have to strip out the shitty dialogue, reduce the inner monologue, and make things actually happen.
Right.
Throughout this whole thing, Tam and McQueen had been using Uncle Jack as a contact
Okay.
to do certain things. And then we find out through some random Deus Ex blind guy that literally, he's a blind guy, and he's a homeless guy. He was around the place that blew up and killed the 5 firefighters.
Okay.
He was around that place before the fire started, and he heard Robert Pascoe talking to a firefighter.
Oh, okay. That fits with the sentence you read earlier.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Nice.
Yeah. See, there's context. And then they kind of like put it together because the blind man says the firefighter's name was Davidson, but it wasn't Davidson. The blind man over the 8 years got confused because he's also a drunk.
Okay.
His name was Harley, but he remembered Davidson because
Harley
of like
Davidson.
Harley Davidson.
Okay.
Yeah. Jack's name is Jack Harley.
Okay.
So they figure this out just in time for him to show up. And there's a scene where Tam goes to call him.
Okay.
And then the phone rings and it's right next to her because he has a key to her place. Because the place that is her place is her old parents' house, which was like willed to Jack when her parents died.
Okay.
So she's like, it's this suspenseful thing where the call is coming from inside the house.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. And then McQueen realizes it at the same time due to some completely separate circumstances because they're apart.
Okay. He panics and lights the house on fire. It's like, we'll get him this way.
Kind of. Jack kidnaps her, Tam, and because he had hired Robert for reasons. Basically, Jack had gambling debts.
Okay.
And the person that he owed money to was staying in the hotel where Tam's family was staying.
Okay.
He didn't know that. So he hired Robert Pascoe to kill that guy. Robert Pascoe killed that guy along with Tam's family.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally.
Okay. The collateral damage.
Yeah. So then he felt really, really bad, and he swore to Tam, I'm going to be the father that I deprived you of, is the way it's phrased.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. Claudia was viewed by Uncle Jack and his wife, who is dead, and I don't remember her name, as like a second daughter.
Right.
So her betrayal of Tam really set him off.
Uh-huh.
So he hired Robert Pascoe again to kill Claudia and
Her new husband. Right. Okay.
Only her new husband was cheating on her.
Uh-huh.
So, shocker. So Robert Pascoe shows up, sees the guy with the girl, kills them by exploding the car or whatever.
Right.
Claudia survives. So Uncle Jack didn't know that. So later, when Claudia wants to reunite with Tam because she regrets everything, she calls Uncle Jack to be like, "Hey, do you think she'll see me? Do you think we'll be able to get back together?" And Uncle Jack's like, "Yeah, like tell me where you're staying. I'll come see you. We'll talk, and then we can go to Tam."
Okay.
Gets her address, sends Robert Pascoe to kill her.
Okay.
And that's what starts the first fire.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's a decent story in there somewhere.
It's in there.
Yeah.
It is in there. But you have 25 pages of sexual content that doesn't need to be in there. Even though I knew that's what it was clearly from both the the publisher and the cover.
I'm pretty sure it needs to be in there. That's one of the prerequisites given to the writer. They're like, all right, we need 25 minutes of sex. Or 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
25 pages of sex. Everything else is whatever you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, so then he killed Claudia, and there's a scene where they meet Robert Pascoe earlier in the book, but he had been scarred and deformed by fire.
Okay.
Like his face was all fucked up, and it wasn't the face that McQueen remembered. He was missing both of his hands.
Shit.
Like he got really badly burned. Jack takes Tam to the building that exploded and killed the 5 firefighters.
Okay.
They're rebuilding it.
Okay.
And McQueen hates that idea. And Jack says that's an affront to the firefighters who died. So he's going to burn it down.
What?
Again. Because he didn't kill them. Robert Pascoe killed them.
But what do you mean an affront to those who died?
Like you're rebuilding the building where they died. How could you? You should put a memorial here. He is insane.
Okay.
Like, he is actually insane.
I don't understand that logic.
It isn't logic. He is actually insane.
Okay.
Yeah. So he takes Tam there, and McQueen realizes that's where he's going because he's going to burn it down again. So McQueen shows up. He and Uncle Jack have like a bit of a fisticuffs fight. But Uncle Jack sets the building on fire, and a support beam falls and and crushes his spine. So Uncle Jack dies in the fire.
Cool.
Tam and McQueen get out. They get married. They adopt Petra.
Okay.
And then like the book ends with Tam saying like Tam's at their wedding and she's like, hey, how do you feel about like being a father? And he's like, well, we adopted Petra. And he's like, yeah, I'm pregnant.
Bruh.
Yeah.
They weren't wrapping it up?
They did, because
Okay. What?
there's a scene. There's a scene in the sex scene
Okay.
where McQueen pulls out a condom and she's like, you just carry that with you? Like, how often do you get lucky? What? That's like whorish behavior. And he's like, no, I actually started carrying it when I met you.
Ah, it's even worse.
It is worse. It's much
so
worse.
much worse. Oh my God.
So they were wrapping it up, but then for some reason they decided not to.
Cool.
Like, it feels so much better without it, is what they said. He uses the line, I would rather feel you than latex. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want it.
I don't like it either.
Trying to think if I missed anything important. I know I didn't.
I know for a fact
nothing of this
I did
is
not
important.
miss anything important.
There is a sequence. I don't know. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. They do recognize. Tam does realize that McQueen was the one that she banged
Right.
all those years ago, and she's like, you knew that was me. Like, you knew this the whole time. How could you? Like, I want to. How could you think of me that way? And he's like, I banged you because they'd already banged this time too.
Yeah.
He's like, I banged you this time to prove that you weren't that way. You needed to know that. I was like,
What?
It doesn't make any sense.
What?
He's like, I romanced you to prove that you're not a slut.
What? Okay, so what he's saying is it was not the honorable thing to just hook up with a stranger.
Right.
So he romanced her to keep her honor intact. Say like it meant something in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking stupid, but
Yes.
I kind of understand where they're going with that.
And to prove that she's not that kind of girl to herself.
But she was.
But she was. She did the thing.
She did.
And the thing, I mean him.
Just because it worked out doesn't mean you're not a slut.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I mean, like, hey, you do you, but like, own it.
Right. Oh, yeah. I also don't want to slut shame by calling her a slut.
I mean, she is a slut, but like, you know,
yeah,
it's not a shame.
It's not a negative connotation automatically in my mind to call someone a slut.
I spent more time trying to think up names for the beginning of this book for you and me.
Okay.
Than I did like thinking about enjoying this book.
And you literally went with the most obvious one.
Yeah. So I was going to do something like, because you have Lightning McQueen was obvious.
Right.
I was going to do Lightning McQueen. But then do you do Mater? No, Mater's like everybody knows Mater. The other thing I was going to do was like a lap of a race is called like a qualifying lap of a race is called a heat. Like
right.
You run your heat.
Yeah.
So I was going to try and set up something there, but I didn't do that either. And then I went to like Piston Cup because that's just fun to say.
Right.
But then I was like, oh, there's a girl in that movie. What's the girl's name? And is she in the second one? I don't remember. I didn't see it. I saw the second and third ones, but I don't remember either.
Did you look it up? Is her name actually Sally?
I didn't look it up, but I am 100% confident her name is Sally.
Okay.
Watch it not be Sally.
Let's check it out.
Sally. Her name is Sally.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, Sally Carrera.
I've had some great conversations in this, none of which were associated with the book. So every week on the show, the person who read the book must give the book a rating. Our rating system consists of 5 levels. At the very lowest level, we have shit-covered toilet paper. Okay? That means the book is fucking shit. The second level is soggy toilet paper, completely uncomfortable. You probably wouldn't want to use it. Third level is toilet paper that's on fire. Fourth level is there is no toilet paper. It's just the empty roll there.
It's just your hand.
It's just your hand. And then 5th level is a bidet.
Oh.
So, fucking Sally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Were you Sally?
I was
Okay.
Sally.
What's your rating for McQueen's Heat?
Before I give it,
Okay.
I'm only saying this because you mentioned bidet.
Okay.
I learned a new vocal exercise from like a 65-year-old British actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's about clarification, pronunciation.
Okay. Right.
It is as follows. Hip bath, lavatory, bidet, douche.
Okay.
And there's nothing funnier than watching a 65-year-old British actor repeating that over and over.
Douche.
Douche. You have to hold it out.
Yeah.
Douche.
And he would do that to warm up?
Yep.
Fascinating.
Hit bath, lavatory, bidet, douche.
That's fascinating. You know what? This book is toilet paper. I'm going to say it because we're all thinking it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, but which toilet paper is it, do you think?
So if you're breaking it up, right? So we have a 5-point rating system.
Just going to explain it again.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
We have a 5-point rating system. Toilet paper is number 1.
Right. That's the bottom is toilet paper.
But you have now added 5 more points.
just because, like, they have different feels to them, right?
They do. Soggy toilet paper feels different than toilet paper on fire. Feels different than your hand. For
sure. Absolutely.
So I'm looking at this like bidet is kind of like regular toilet paper. It's like a 1.
I would argue that bidet is a mixed bag because you get clean, but then you have a soggy ass.
Well, you have to wipe it anyway.
Right, but that's not part of the option. It's just the bidet.
Right.
So it's like you're clean, which is the most important thing.
Right. It gets the job done, but you're still uncomfortable.
Still uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So like a bidet is the highest point, but the highest bar is still a 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I would give this, it's not shit on toilet paper. It's not the worst thing I've ever read.
Right, okay.
I would give this a solid your hand.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
As far as the lowest tier goes.
It's the second highest of the lowest tier.
Yeah, the new tier we just made up.
It's a 0.8 out of 10 or 5. It's a 0.8 out of 5.
I think I might swap toilet paper on fire with soggy though. I think
fire would be worse.
Yeah, that would definitely be worse.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this was definitely fun.
I had a blast about everything outside of the book.
Yeah, this is the most I've felt like into it in a little while.
Yeah.
I feel like. Even though I wasn't into the book.
Definitely a little bit refreshing about this.
Yeah. So a few things. We did not release a bonus episode in January. There was extenuating circumstances. I was very sick for a week, the first week of January.
Oh, yeah.
My place was burgled.
It was. You got burgled.
I got burgled, which there's a footnotes on that. Check it out. So because of various reasons, we did not have time to do a bonus episode. And we want to prioritize our regular episodes over bonus episodes.
Right.
We want to make sure we have regular good content going out for everyone to listen to for free before we do Patreon stuff.
We do. And good is in quotation marks, of course.
Yes. And but hey, the more support we get on Patreon, the more time we can devote to pumping out content.
Exactly. Look, any support you can give, we appreciate it. If you can't afford it, don't pledge. That's fine. You can also go to YouTube and search A Page Too Far. We have everything up there, except our most recent episode isn't up there.
Is it not?
Because I forgot to promote it on socials too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's another thing is that YouTube is like a second thought to me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm so focused on making sure it's on our regular feeds.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I completely forget it's
YouTube.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that, but then I also realized I forgot to promote it too. So like,
man, fuck. We're
just bad at this.
We're really bad at this.
We have Twitter and Instagram that are active sometimes. If you message us, I'll get them. But like, I might not put something out there. But they're both at A Page Too Far. And then we have our email, which is apagetofar@gmail.com. It's apagetofar@gmail.com.
Write to us. Don't send us Norton offers. We got plenty of those.
We got 3 offers in a row that are just like, hey, we bought something using your credit card. And I'm like, great, what card number? They're like, it doesn't exist. I'm like, yeah, you're right, because we don't have one.
But we love to hear feedback on episodes, good or bad.
Yeah.
If we get bad feedback, we know how to correct what we're doing and get better.
Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't.
Yeah. And suggestions for future books, always welcome. Mm-hmm. It's always a struggle for me to find good books. A lot of times I'll read a book and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this.
Yep.
That's even more of a crunch for us because then we just dedicated all this time to reading a book that we're not going to use.
Exactly.
So if you guys have great suggestions for weird books, ideally what I always look for is a book that either has a bizarre title or cover, and I have no idea what to expect.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Generally, we tend to stick between 150 and 250 pages too, so that we have time to read it and notate it.
Something you could probably read in a day or like half a day, reasonably. So hashtag Bobo Lives. Hashtag, what's the hashtag for this episode?
Well, first off, themed. We never said that.
Oh, no, the hashtag themed.
Yeah, hashtag themed. This one, I'm going to say Hashtag turgidly.
Hashtag turgidly. Also, hashtag hot box of rocks. Just because I love saying hot box of rocks.
It's great. Hashtag the first novel or the first romance novel I read was a furry romance novel.
That's kind of a long one, but I'll permit
very
it.
long hashtag. If you hit us up with that hashtag, I will laugh.
Did you see? I just saw something brand new on Netflix that made me laugh out loud with how long the title was.
What was that?
It was literally girl in the window across the street from the woman in the house. It was something ridiculous like that. It was so fucking long. I'm like, why is that?
It's from the same guy who wrote like shockingly evil, horrible, and vile or whatever.
Yeah. But I digress. Thanks for listening. Have a very pleasant February.
Bye.